If you want power, start with purpose. If you want to dominate your life instead of being dragged by it, define your direction. The man without a definite aim is a ship without a rudder, tossed by waves, steered by the wind, going nowhere. But the man with a clear goal, he carves through the storms. He turns chaos into order, because he knows where he's going, and nothing, no failure, no doubt, no fear, can pull him off course. Understand this: indecision is the assassin of success. Every time you hesitate, every time you say maybe, every time you wait for the perfect moment, you surrender power. The universe does not reward hesitation. It rewards action born from clarity. You don't need to know the entire path. You only need to know the destination, the aim. Decide what you want. Decide with such force, such finality, that the decision becomes a command to your soul. When you have a definite aim, life responds. Doors open. People appear. Resources show up. What once felt impossible begins to feel inevitable. Why? Because a definite aim gives you magnetic force. People want to help the man who knows where he's going. People follow those with vision. They invest in those with certainty. And certainty only comes when your goal is clear, specific, and non-negotiable. Discipline is no longer hard when your purpose is strong. You don't have to try to wake up early. You don't need motivation to grind when the goal is burned into your mind. The aim fuels you. You eat, breathe, and move with intention. Distractions become irrelevant because your aim becomes your identity. You stop living like a wanderer and start living like a warrior. Think about this. No sniper shoots without locking in the target. No builder lays bricks without a blueprint. Yet people move through life aimlessly, hoping things will magically fall into place. They won't. Hope is not a strategy. Precision is. You must define what you want with such clarity that your subconscious has no choice but to chase it, write it, speak it, visualize it, obsess over it, until you become it. Burn the boats. If you're serious, commit with no escape plan. Don't say I'll try, say I will. Say it until your actions prove it. Once your aim is set, eliminate anything that doesn't serve it. The weak keep backup plans. The strong eliminate them because they know the only way forward is through. Your aim gives birth to faith. Real belief doesn't come from positive thinking. It comes from seeing your purpose so vividly that you know it's only a matter of time. You don't question it. You don't doubt it. You move like it's already done. That mindset, when backed by action, produces miracles. The kind of miracles the world mistakes for luck. But it's not luck. It's focus. It's clarity. It's intensity. Understand this. The world does not care about how hard you work if you're working without aim. Action without direction is wasted energy. Precision wins. The one who knows exactly what they want and refuses to settle for less commands life. Life doesn't hand success to the uncertain. It bows to the man with a mission so definite, so clear, so unshakable that nothing can stop him. So what's your aim? If you don't know it, find it. If you do know it, burn it into your mind. Make it your obsession, because until your aim is definite, your life will be indefinite. And no one becomes great in the land of maybe. Clarity is power. When a man knows exactly what he wants, he becomes dangerous. The moment you define your aim with precision, the fog of uncertainty disappears. No more wandering, no more second-guessing. You stop waking up wondering what to do and start waking up knowing why you're alive. Without clarity, you waste time. You chase distractions. You drift in 1,000 directions and arrive nowhere. But with clarity, you move like a missile. You don't chase every opportunity. You create your own. You don't follow the crowd. You lead yourself. Because the man with a definite aim doesn't need motivation. He is motivation in motion. There is no power in confusion, no strength in vague wishes. If you're unsure of your goal, then don't expect to achieve it. Your mind can only serve you when it knows exactly what to serve. Success begins the moment you declare with absolute certainty what you want. Not a rough idea, not a maybe, not an I'll see, but a definite, written, visualized, burned in your soul outcome. Clarity slices through noise. Clarity kills fear. Because when you can see it, you stop asking if it's possible and start asking how fast you can make it happen. People fail not because they're weak, but because they lack direction. A weak man with purpose will destroy a strong man with doubt. That's not opinion, it's fact. Purpose overrides pain. Purpose pushes through failure. Purpose turns setbacks into strategy. When your goal is clear, every obstacle becomes a step forward. You don't quit when it gets hard. You adjust, learn, adapt, but you keep moving. The vision pulls you. The aim drives you. That's the power of clarity. It makes giving up more painful than pressing on. A drifting mind is a defeated mind. The world is filled with men who have talent but no target, desire but no decision. They dabble in 10 things and master none. They start, stop, start again, and never finish. And then they wonder why success never knocks. It doesn't knock because they never built the door. The man with a definite aim builds that door brick by brick, day by day, with every focused action. He doesn't wait for opportunity. He builds himself into the man who commands it. Energy flows where attention goes, but attention is a slave to clarity. If your vision is vague, your actions will be weak. If your goal is blurry, your path will be unstable. But when you make the target sharp, the body follows. The habits change. The standards rise. You stop tolerating mediocrity because now you see what excellence looks like. And more importantly, you see that it's possible, that it's real, that it's within reach. Because once your mind locks onto a definite aim, it begins hunting for ways to make it real. The man who burns his aim into his thoughts programs his subconscious to work for him even while he sleeps. Ideas begin to surface. People start to align. Resources appear that were invisible before, not because they weren't there, but because you weren't ready to see them. The mind is a weapon, but without a target, it fires blanks. A definite aim loads the chamber with intent. It makes every decision easier. Should you say yes to this opportunity? Does it align with your aim? If not, it's a distraction. Cut it. Move on. You don't get what you want. You get what you are willing to pursue with relentless clarity. The world has no sympathy for those who live in the land of someday. Someday is where dreams go to die. The man with a definite aim lives in now. He acts today. He builds daily. He sacrifices willingly. Why? Because he's not working blindly. He's building something specific. And when the vision is strong enough, discipline becomes automatic. You don't need to be pushed. The goal pulls you like gravity. It's not enough to have ambition. You must have aim. Fire all you want, but if you don't have a target, your energy is wasted. Think of the sniper. He doesn't spray bullets in every direction. He waits, locks in, and hits the mark with one shot. That's clarity. That's focus. That's what separates the successful from the scattered. The world respects the man who knows what he wants and demands it from life. Not with arrogance, but with certainty. And certainty only comes from one thing. A definite aim burns so deep into your identity that you cannot live without achieving it. Everything you need becomes visible when your goal becomes non-negotiable. You stop looking for reasons why it won't work and start finding reasons why it must. Because to you, there is no other option. Success isn't a hope. It's a requirement. Your time, your energy, your life is too valuable to waste chasing what doesn't matter. So define it. Declare it. Decide with finality. And when you do, the world begins to move. Not because it's easy, but because now you are finally aligned. And nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop the man who knows exactly where he's going and refuses to stop until he gets there. Indecision breeds weakness. The moment you hesitate, the moment you fail to make a decision, you lose power. Indecision is not just a lack of action, it's a choice to remain powerless. When you can't decide, you give away your strength, your control, your future. You leave your destiny in the hands of the unknown, in the hands of circumstances, in the hands of others. And when you do that, you surrender your potential. You surrender everything you could be. Indecision isn't just a temporary setback, it's a silent killer. It destroys confidence. It destroys momentum. It destroys dreams. The longer you stay in the realm of indecision, the weaker you become. The more options you weigh, the more confused you become. And with that confusion comes a loss of belief in yourself. You begin to doubt your ability to make the right choices. You begin to question whether you're capable. And then, like a vicious cycle, indecision becomes your habit. The more you wait, the less power you have. In life, there is no room for hesitation. Every moment you spend doubting, every second you waste pondering over decisions, is a second you'll never get back. It's a second you could have used to move forward. But instead, you're stuck, you're paralyzed. And the longer you stay paralyzed, the more you make your dreams seem unreachable. You make your goals look like distant stars, and the harder it becomes to reach them. The enemy of success is not failure, it's indecision. Most people fail not because they aren't capable, but because they can't choose which direction to go. They hesitate. They hesitate to take the leap. They hesitate to make the investment. They hesitate to commit fully to their vision, and in doing so, they miss the opportunities that come with taking action. They miss the opportunities to learn, to grow, and to adapt. Because indecision does one thing, nothing. It keeps you in the same place, always thinking, always wondering, always second-guessing. But the person who makes decisions fast, who acts without overthinking, is the one who moves forward. The truth is, the moment you make a decision, you create momentum. Momentum is power. It's the force that propels you toward your goal. It's the thing that pushes you when everything else tells you to stop. Momentum is built through decisions, and decisions are built on clarity. Once you've decided what you want, the path ahead becomes clear. The decisions that once seemed difficult become simple. Why? Because you've already chosen your direction. And now every choice you make moves you closer to your destination. But the person who is indecisive, who doesn't trust their own judgment, will always face obstacles that seem impossible to overcome. Obstacles become mountains when you can't make up your mind. Every challenge becomes a reason to doubt. Every setback becomes a signal to turn back. Indecision gives power to fear. It makes every situation seem bigger than it is. It clouds your judgment and weakens your resolve. It prevents you from seeing the opportunities that are right in front of you. And most importantly, it keeps you stuck in the same place, always talking about what you could have done, what you should have done, but never actually doing anything. Success is built on decisions, and decisions are built on confidence. Confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something you build by choosing to act even when you don't have all the answers. Confidence is the product of small decisions made repeatedly over time that compound into big results. But when you are indecisive, when you refuse to make a decision, you delay the confidence you need to move forward. You rob yourself of the chance to grow and evolve. And without confidence, without decisive action, success will always remain just out of reach. When you make a decision, you commit to a course of action. And commitment is the most powerful thing you can do for yourself. Commitment means you stop looking for excuses. You stop waiting for the perfect moment. You stop searching for signs and start creating them. When you commit to a decision, you make your mind up, and the universe begins to align itself with your will. Doors open. Opportunities present themselves, but only if you've made the decision to move, only if you've decided to act. Indecision is a luxury you can't afford. It's a luxury that only weakens you, that keeps you from achieving your potential. When you're uncertain, you hesitate. And hesitation is the breeding ground for fear. Fear tells you to wait. It tells you to think longer. It tells you to wait for the stars to align. But the only alignment you need is the one you create with your own actions. Decisions are made in the present, not in the future, and it's through action, not thought, that your future is shaped. The strongest people in the world aren't the ones who never fail. They are the ones who make decisions quickly, fail fast, and keep moving forward. Every time they make a decision, they move closer to their goals. Every time they act, they grow stronger. And every time they fall, they learn, adapt, and rise again. Why? Because they never stop making decisions. They never stop taking action. So make a decision today. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the stars to align. The moment you decide is the moment your life changes. The moment you stop doubting and start doing is the moment you take control. Indecision breeds weakness, but decision breeds power. And once you decide, nothing can stop you. A definite aim attracts opportunity. The moment you set a clear, unwavering goal, the universe begins to align itself in ways you can't even begin to predict. Opportunity doesn't come from hoping and wishing. It comes from focus. It comes from knowing exactly what you want and declaring that you will accept nothing less. When your aim is clear, your actions align with it. And when your actions align with your aim, the doors that were once closed begin to open. What most people fail to realize is that opportunity is not something that magically appears. It's something that you create by the energy you put out into the world. The world does not give you what you want simply because you ask for it. It gives you what you're ready to receive. And you can only be ready for something when you know exactly what you're looking for. The moment you have a definite aim, you signal to the world that you are no longer just wandering. You are heading somewhere specific, and you are willing to fight for it. If your mind is unclear, if you don't know exactly where you're going, then how can you recognize the opportunities that come your way? How can you take action on them? Opportunities are everywhere, but they pass by unnoticed by those who haven't set their sights on a definite target. Without a clear aim, opportunity becomes meaningless. But with a definite aim, opportunity begins to reveal itself in every corner of your life. People show up, resources present themselves, and paths that once seemed invisible suddenly become clear. Clarity of purpose is magnetic. When you know what you want and when you commit to it, you begin to attract the very resources and people who will help you reach your goal. The universe doesn't work for the person who's undecided. It works for the person who has unwavering belief in their aim. The moment you declare your purpose, you send out a message to the world that you are serious, that you are ready, and that you will not accept anything less than what you've set out to achieve. Many people believe that opportunity comes in the form of luck. They believe that some are just in the right place at the right time, while others miss their shot. But the truth is that opportunity is not random. It's a result of your alignment with your aim. The more focused and committed you are, the more opportunities you will encounter. These opportunities won't always look like what you expect, but they will always lead you closer to your goal. The key is to recognize them when they arrive. A definite aim transforms your actions from aimless wandering into deliberate, focused effort. When you know exactly what you want, every decision you make is aligned with that goal. You don't waste time on distractions. You don't get caught up in the noise of life. You filter everything through the lens of your aim. And because you are clear on what you want, you begin to see the opportunities that others miss. While they are lost in the chaos, you are moving steadily in the direction of your goal, gathering the resources you need along the way. But clarity doesn't just attract physical opportunities. It also creates mental opportunities. It sharpens your perception. It trains your mind to see solutions rather than problems. The person without a definite aim spends their time thinking about obstacles. They focus on what's not working. They dwell on the negative. But the person with a clear aim is looking for answers. They seek solutions. They look for ways to turn challenges into stepping stones. And because of that focus, their mind becomes a magnet for opportunities, both obvious and hidden. This doesn't mean that everything will come to you easily. Opportunities will still require effort, commitment, and action. But the person with a definite aim doesn't see challenges as roadblocks. They see them as opportunities in disguise. They are constantly learning, constantly adapting, constantly moving forward. And because they are moving forward with a clear aim, they find opportunities where others see only setbacks. They are constantly in motion, constantly improving, and constantly attracting what they need to succeed. A definite aim doesn't just attract opportunities, it transforms the way you approach them. When you know what you want, you stop waiting for things to happen. You make things happen. You don't wait for someone to hand you an opportunity, you create one yourself. And when you create opportunities, you open the door for even more opportunities to come your way. The more committed you are to your aim, the more energy you put into it, the more the world responds. Opportunities are not random events. They are the result of your alignment with your purpose, your aim, and your actions. This is why having a definite aim is so powerful. It gives you direction. It gives you momentum. It gives you the courage to take risks and to act boldly. It removes doubt and hesitation. When your aim is definite, you have no room for excuses. You simply move forward, and with every step you draw opportunities to you. The more precise your aim, the more the world bends in your favor. The more you are willing to pursue your goal, the more resources, people, and circumstances align to help you reach it. So, stop waiting for opportunity to knock. Stop wondering when your big break will come. Instead, set a definite aim, commit to it, and watch as the world begins to deliver what you need. The opportunities you once thought were out of reach will suddenly appear, not because of luck, but because of your focus, your clarity, and your commitment to your aim. Discipline grows from vision. It doesn't come from sheer willpower or from trying harder. It comes from seeing clearly where you are headed and why you are heading there. When you have a vision, when you know with unshakable certainty what you want and why it matters, discipline becomes natural. It's no longer a struggle to stay focused. It's no longer an act of willpower to push yourself to work, to take action. It becomes part of who you are because you see the bigger picture, and that picture pulls you forward. Vision is the foundation of discipline. Without vision, discipline is a burden. It's like trying to climb a mountain without knowing where the summit is. The climb becomes aimless, frustrating, and exhausting. But when you have a clear vision of what's at the top of that mountain, every step becomes easier, even if it's challenging. Vision provides purpose, and purpose creates momentum. The person with a vision doesn't need motivation. They have a magnetic force pulling them toward their goal, a force that makes them take consistent action even when the going gets tough. When your vision is clear, discipline flows from it effortlessly. You don't have to fight yourself to do what needs to be done. You don't have to force yourself to wake up early or to push through the tough days. You do these things because they align with the vision you have for your life. You know that every sacrifice, every moment of discomfort, every challenge you face is a necessary part of the journey to reach your destination. The strength to keep going comes from the belief that your vision is worth it, that what you are working toward is worth every ounce of effort. Without vision, you don't have a compelling reason to stay disciplined. Without vision, your actions become disconnected from your purpose, and discipline becomes difficult to sustain. People without vision are like a ship without a rudder. They drift. They may put in effort, but it's not focused. It's not directed. And without direction, no matter how hard you work, you will end up going in circles, getting nowhere. Vision provides the direction. It tells you exactly where to go, what to do, and why it's worth it. And once you know this, discipline is no longer something you force. It becomes something you do automatically. The power of vision lies in its ability to give your life meaning. When you can see what's possible, when you can picture yourself achieving your goals, when you can vividly imagine the rewards that come from your hard work, discipline becomes an act of love, not obligation. You're no longer forcing yourself to do something. You're choosing to do it because it moves you closer to the life you envision. You are no longer acting out of duty or pressure. You are acting out of alignment with the life you've created in your mind. Vision also strengthens your resolve. Life is hard. There will always be setbacks, disappointments, and obstacles that threaten to knock you off course. But when you have a clear vision, you can always return to it. When challenges arise, your vision becomes the anchor that keeps you grounded. It reminds you why you started in the first place. It helps you rise when you fall. It fuels your determination to continue, even when things get tough, because when your vision is clear, it becomes the reason you push through. It becomes the fuel that drives you to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. It's easy to fall off track when you don't have a vision. The distractions of life become louder. The noise of other people's opinions grows stronger. The pressure of what's going wrong in the present can overwhelm you. But with a vision, you can tune out the distractions. You can ignore the temporary setbacks. You can rise above the noise and stay focused on the bigger picture. Vision gives you the ability to see past the obstacles and stay on course, no matter what. The true power of vision is that it aligns all your efforts, all your decisions, and all your actions toward one central goal. Once you've defined your vision, you can ask yourself, does this action bring me closer to my goal? If the answer is yes, then you take it. If the answer is no, you let it go. Discipline becomes a process of filtering out everything that doesn't serve your vision. It becomes about protecting your energy and focusing it on what matters most. And once your energy is focused, it compounds. The more disciplined you become, the more momentum you build. The more momentum you build, the closer you get to your goal. And with each step forward, your vision becomes more real, more tangible, more achievable. Vision is also about clarity. The clearer your vision, the easier it is to stay disciplined. When you are uncertain about where you are going or what you want, every decision becomes harder. Every action feels like a gamble. But when your vision is crystal clear, decisions become simple. You don't waste time wondering if you should do something. You know immediately whether it aligns with your purpose or not. Discipline isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter, about focusing your time and energy only on what matters. The discipline that grows from vision is unstoppable. When you can see the life you want, when you can taste the success you're working toward, when you can feel the pride of achieving your goals, nothing can derail you. The obstacles will come, the setbacks will happen, but when you have a clear vision, they are nothing more than stepping stones. And with every step, you get closer. Discipline is no longer a chore. It's a tool that drives you forward, a tool that aligns your thoughts, your actions, and your purpose, a tool that transforms your dreams into reality. Because when you have a vision, you don't just survive life, you conquer it. You can't hit a target you can't see. If you don't know exactly where you're aiming, how can you expect to hit the mark? Success is not a game of chance. It's not a mystery that you stumble upon by accident. Success is the result of a clear, focused aim. When you don't have a specific target, you're just shooting arrows into the dark, hoping something sticks. And hoping is not a strategy. Vision is, clarity is, precision is. The moment you decide what you want, the moment you define your target with absolute certainty, you shift your mindset from one of wandering to one of purpose. But without a clear target, you cannot develop the discipline, the focus, or the strategy necessary to achieve it. A vague goal is just a dream, a wish. It's a shadow of possibility, not a concrete reality. To turn that dream into a reality, you must first sharpen your vision. You must define your aim so clearly that you can see it as vividly as if it were already in your grasp. Most people spend their lives hoping for success, yet they never bother to clarify exactly what that success looks like. They drift from one idea to another, from one opportunity to the next, without ever committing to a specific target. They chase after a vague notion of better, more, or success without defining what those words truly mean. This is why so many people fail to reach their potential. They have no clear aim. And because they don't know what they're really aiming for, they end up missing every time. The reason most people fall short is not because they lack talent or resources, it's because they lack direction. They lack a specific target. A target provides a roadmap for success. It outlines where you're going and, more importantly, it tells you how to get there. Without a target, you cannot measure your progress. Without a target, you can't evaluate your actions. You can't even tell if you're heading in the right direction. And without the ability to measure and track progress, you can't adjust. Without the target, there's no feedback loop. And without feedback, growth is impossible. Success, like hitting a target, requires precision. It's not enough to just be moving forward. You need to be moving toward something. Every action you take, every decision you make, must be in alignment with your target. And if you don't know exactly where you're going, you risk wasting time and energy on things that don't matter. You get sidetracked by distractions, by opportunities that don't actually serve your goal, and by the temptation to veer off course when things get hard. But when you can see your target clearly, when it's embedded in your mind and heart, nothing can knock you off course. A clear aim keeps you focused. It filters out the noise. It helps you prioritize. You can't afford to waste time on things that don't bring you closer to your target. Your aim defines your actions. It shapes your habits. It tells you what to say yes to and what to say no to. When you know exactly where you're going, you can spot distractions from a mile away. And the stronger your vision, the easier it is to stay disciplined, to stay focused, and to stay on track. Without a target, you're just moving aimlessly. You're reacting to life instead of proactively creating the life you want. The clarity you gain from a specific target also boosts your confidence. The more you see your goal as something achievable, something tangible, the more you believe in your ability to reach it. Confidence isn't built from guesswork or random attempts. It's built from a clear plan of action. The more focused you are on your target, the more capable you feel of hitting it. The more you break your goal down into manageable steps, the more confident you become in your ability to take those steps and make real progress. But it's not just about knowing your target, it's about visualizing it, seeing it vividly in your mind. The clearer the target, the stronger your focus. The more details you add, the more real it becomes. Visualize what it will look like when you achieve your goal. Feel it, taste it, hear it. The more you see your target in your mind, the easier it becomes to stay on track. The more you see it as a reality, the easier it becomes to take action toward it. When you lack a target, you don't have a compass. You don't have a clear sense of direction. And without direction, you can't get to where you want to go. Think of a ship lost at sea. It's adrift without a map, without a destination. It's wasting energy, sailing in circles, and ultimately, it's going nowhere. But the ship with a destination, no matter how far away it is, has purpose. It has a course to follow. Every move it makes is aligned with its target, and no matter how many obstacles it faces, it can adjust and stay on track because it knows where it's headed. A person without a target is like that ship. They go through the motions of life, but never seem to get anywhere. They work hard, they sacrifice, but they never seem to hit the mark because they don't know where the mark is. They don't have a target. And without a target, no amount of effort will ever be enough. Effort must be aligned with intention. Action must be guided by vision. Only then can you hit the target. The power of vision and clarity cannot be overstated. When you see your target clearly, you can navigate obstacles with purpose. You can adjust your course and keep going. You don't stop when things get tough because you know that the target is worth the effort. The moment you define your target, you begin the process of hitting it. You begin to shape your life around that aim, and every step you take moves you closer to it. So stop aiming at nothing. Start aiming at something specific, something real, something you can see. And watch how your actions, your decisions, and your discipline align to bring that target into your life. Burn the boats. This is not just a phrase, it's a call to action, a commitment to doing whatever it takes to succeed. It's the moment you draw a line in the sand and declare that there is no turning back. When you burn the boats, you eliminate the option of retreat. You make the decision that failure is not an option, and you force yourself to move forward, no matter what obstacles may come your way. The boats are the safety nets, the things you rely on when times get tough. But when you burn them, you free yourself from the crutches that keep you from pushing your limits and reaching your true potential. When you burn the boats, you remove all doubt. You no longer have the luxury of second-guessing yourself or retreating into comfort. You commit to your goal with unwavering conviction, knowing that the only way out is through. This level of commitment forces you to rise to the occasion. When there is no backup plan, no escape route, you are left with nothing but the drive to succeed. You don't hesitate, you don't wait for the perfect moment. You move, and you move with everything you have. Every resource, every ounce of energy, every action becomes dedicated to the pursuit of your goal because you understand that there is no turning back. Most people keep their boats intact. They keep options open just in case things don't work out. They keep their safety nets ready, allowing them to retreat when the going gets tough. And as long as those boats remain intact, they'll never fully commit. They'll never put everything on the line. They'll always hold something back, and that's the very thing that keeps them from reaching their full potential. But when you burn the boats, you are all in. There's no room for hesitation, no room for failure to be an option. You are in the game for keeps, and that's when you start to unlock the power that lies within you. The decision to burn the boats is a decision to stop making excuses. It's a declaration that you are no longer going to let fear, doubt, or uncertainty hold you back. When you've already burned your boats, There's no room to entertain those negative thoughts anymore. Your mind becomes singular in focus, and your heart beats with an intensity that will not allow failure to be a part of your reality. Every setback becomes a lesson, every obstacle an opportunity, and every challenge a test of your will. You don't quit, you don't turn back, because you've committed to the path ahead with everything you've got. Burning the boats also allows you to step into your own power. We all have untapped potential, but most people never realize it because they never fully commit. They hold back, they play it safe, and they never unleash the fire that resides within them. But when you burn the boats, you break free from the chains of doubt and fear. You release yourself from the comfort zone and take a step into the unknown. And it is only in the unknown, in the discomfort of uncertainty, that true growth happens. It's where real breakthroughs occur, where innovation is born, and where you become the person you were always meant to be. When you burn the boats, you also eliminate distractions. There's no room for anything that doesn't serve your purpose. You can no longer afford to waste time on things that don't move you closer to your goal. You have one mission, and everything you do must align with that mission. This is where true focus is born. The person who burns their boats has laser focus. They are not sidetracked by the opinions of others, the distractions of daily life, or the comfort of mediocrity. They are completely and totally invested in their mission, and that's why they succeed. The boat-burning mentality doesn't just apply to external circumstances, it applies internally as well. It's about burning the limiting beliefs, the fears, the doubts, and the excuses that live inside of you. It's about eliminating the thoughts that tell you you can't, that you're not good enough, that you don't deserve success. Those thoughts are the boats you need to burn. When you commit to your goal, when you fully embrace the mindset that failure is not an option, you change the way you think, the way you act, and the way you see yourself. You begin to see yourself as capable, as strong, as unstoppable. And when you believe that, the world responds in kind. The power of burning the boats is that it forces you to make a decision. It forces you to pick a side, to make a commitment, and to act as if there is no other choice. There's no maybe, no if, no perhaps. When you burn the boats, you make a decision that says, I am going to do this, and I will do whatever it takes. You align your actions with that decision, and suddenly you have a sense of purpose and clarity that drives you forward. Every action you take becomes deliberate, intentional, and powerful. Every step you make is one step closer to your goal because you've burned the boats, and there is no turning back. People who succeed at the highest levels are those who have burned their boats. They've made the decision that failure is not an option. They've committed to their vision with everything they have, and they've refused to allow anything to distract them or pull them off course. They burned their boats, and in doing so, they've unlocked a level of focus, determination, and power that others simply can't match. Burning the boats is about fully embracing the challenge. It's about choosing the harder path, knowing that it's the only path that leads to true growth and achievement. It's about making the decision that success is inevitable, because you've already committed to it no matter what. And once you've done that, once you've burned the boats and left no room for retreat, you'll find that the path ahead becomes clearer, the challenges become easier to overcome, and success becomes inevitable. Purpose ignites faith. When you have a clear, powerful purpose in life, it serves as the fuel that powers everything you do. It's the spark that transforms mere belief into unwavering faith. Faith without purpose is fragile, but when purpose is present, faith becomes unshakable. Purpose is the anchor that grounds you in moments of uncertainty. It's the compass that guides you when the world around you seems chaotic. When you know why you're doing something, when your actions are aligned with a deeper mission, your faith becomes unstoppable. Purpose doesn't just give you direction, it gives you the belief that no matter how tough the journey gets, you can make it through. Without purpose, life feels aimless. You go through the motions, but there's no burning drive behind your actions. The world becomes overwhelming, and every challenge feels insurmountable. But when you discover your purpose, everything changes. Purpose gives you clarity. It brings focus. Suddenly, the obstacles you once saw as impossible hurdles are just stepping stones on the way to something bigger. Purpose doesn't just show you where to go, it shows you why it's worth the effort. And once you know why, once you understand the significance of your mission, your faith becomes unbreakable. Faith without purpose is like a boat drifting on the water with no destination. It might stay afloat for a while, but eventually it will be lost in the currents. But purpose is the rudder that steers the ship. It doesn't matter how rough the seas get. If you have purpose, you know where you're headed, and you can navigate through any storm. Purpose provides the clarity you need to stay focused, to keep moving forward even when challenges arise. It makes you relentless in the pursuit of your goals. When your actions are driven by purpose, every setback is just a lesson, every failure is just a detour. Your faith becomes a deep knowing that success is inevitable because you're on the right path and your purpose is guiding you toward it. Faith isn't passive. It's not a wish or a hope. It's a powerful force that propels you forward. But to activate that power, you need something to fuel it. That fuel is purpose. When you have a strong sense of purpose, your faith becomes unstoppable. Every action you take is a step closer to fulfilling your mission. Every day you wake up knowing that the work you're doing is moving you closer to the vision you hold in your heart. Your faith gives you the courage to act even when the odds seem stacked against you. It drives you to keep going when others might give up. And the reason it drives you is because your purpose gives you a reason to believe. When you have purpose, you start to see everything differently. Your mindset shifts from one of scarcity and fear to one of abundance and possibility. Purpose fuels faith because it shifts your perspective from the limitations of the present to the endless possibilities of the future. It doesn't matter how hard things are right now because you know that your purpose will carry you through. When you are connected to your purpose, challenges no longer seem like roadblocks. They are opportunities for growth. You don't see obstacles, you see stepping stones. And that shift in perspective strengthens your faith because you begin to realize that everything, even the hardships, is part of your journey towards success. Purpose also brings resilience. Faith is tested in times of adversity, but when you know your purpose, you find strength in the struggle. The road to success is rarely smooth. There will be setbacks, failures, and moments when you feel like quitting. But when you are driven by purpose, those moments don't break you. They strengthen your resolve. You know that the pain of today is the building block of tomorrow's success. Purpose makes you relentless. It makes you keep going when others would give up. It fuels your faith, making it stronger with each challenge you face. Purpose ignites a fire inside you, and that fire fuels your faith. When you know what you're working for, when you understand the deeper meaning behind your actions, your belief in your success becomes unshakable. Your faith doesn't just remain in your mind, it moves into your actions. You walk with purpose, you act with purpose, and everything you do is driven by the belief that you are on the path to greatness. When your faith is rooted in purpose, you no longer doubt yourself. You no longer wonder if you can succeed. The doubt disappears, replaced by a deep, unwavering belief that no matter what comes your way, you will find a way to overcome it. The challenges you face no longer seem like obstacles. They become part of your story. They become the fuel that propels you forward. And when you can look at obstacles and see them for what they are, temporary hurdles that will soon be behind you, your faith becomes unshakable. Purpose also helps you stay grounded. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to lose sight of what matters most. It's easy to get sidetracked by what everyone else is doing, by the opinions of others, by the pressures of life. But when you are connected to your purpose, you are centered. You know what matters, and everything else fades into the background. Purpose brings clarity, and with that clarity comes the ability to act with conviction. Your faith becomes rooted in the knowledge that what you are doing is important, that it is worth every sacrifice, every hardship, every challenge. Purpose is the reason you wake up in the morning. It's the reason you keep going when the days get long and the work gets tough. And that purpose strengthens your faith. Because when you believe in the bigger picture, when you understand the importance of your mission, there's no obstacle too great, no setback too discouraging. Your faith becomes the force that carries you forward no matter what. And as you move forward with purpose and faith as your guide, You realize that nothing is impossible. The path may be hard, but with purpose in your heart and faith in your soul, you will reach your destination. Success requires precision, not luck. It's a mindset, a strategy, a series of intentional decisions that lead you to your desired outcome. Success is not a random act that just happens to a fortunate few. It's not a stroke of luck that comes by chance. It's the result of careful planning, calculated moves, and relentless execution. You don't stumble upon success. You create it through precision. Luck may give you a brief moment of opportunity, but it is precision that turns those opportunities into lasting success. When you rely on luck, you're leaving your fate to chance. You're hoping for circumstances to align in your favor, but you have no control over those circumstances. It's a dangerous game to play because luck is fickle. It comes and goes without warning. The problem with relying on luck is that it's unpredictable. Success, however, is not about waiting for the right circumstances to magically appear. It's about creating the right circumstances through precision. It's about making choices, one after another, that align with your goals, building a path that leads you to the life you envision. Success requires clarity in your decisions, focus in your actions, and discipline in your execution. When you operate with precision, you control your own destiny. Luck is often a poor substitute for skill. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that someone else achieved success purely because they were in the right place at the right time, but that's rarely the full story. Behind every overnight success, there are years of practice, study, and preparation. People who achieve real success know exactly what they want, and they make decisions that move them closer to it every day. It's not about being in the right place at the right time. It's about being prepared to seize the opportunity when it arrives. Precision is the preparation that ensures you can capitalize on opportunities when they come your way. If you wait for luck to take you where you want to go, you're wasting time. Instead, focus on developing your skills, honing your craft, and setting clear, actionable goals. With precision, success becomes a series of steps, not a stroke of chance. Precision also means knowing exactly what you're aiming for. A person without a clear target is like an archer without a bow. They may shoot arrows all day, but none of them will hit the mark. To succeed, you must first define success for yourself. What does it look like? What is the end goal? Once you know that, every action you take becomes a calculated move in the direction of that goal. Precision is about having clarity in your vision and executing every action with that vision in mind. Success doesn't come from trying to do everything. It comes from narrowing your focus to what truly matters and committing to it with everything you've got. The power of precision is in its ability to align your actions with your purpose. Every move you make, every decision you take, is guided by your clear objective. Success is the result of alignment. It's the outcome of consistent, deliberate actions that are designed to bring you closer to your goal. The more precise your actions, the more likely you are to see results. Instead of trying to spread yourself thin by chasing every opportunity, precision teaches you to focus on what moves the needle forward. When you focus on the right things and you execute those things with precision, success is inevitable. Moreover, precision is the difference between effort and impact. Many people work hard but don't see the results they expect because their efforts are scattered or misdirected. They might put in hours, days, even years, but without a clear direction, they fail to make significant progress. Precision is what transforms hard work into meaningful success. It's about understanding that every action has a purpose and ensuring that every step you take is a step that moves you closer to your goal. It's the difference between being busy and being productive. Precision turns your effort into tangible results. Success is not just about working harder, it's about working smarter. Precision allows you to avoid the common pitfall of spinning your wheels. It helps you stay focused on the right tasks and prevents you from wasting energy on things that don't move you closer to your objective. When you work with precision, you have a plan, and that plan keeps you on track. You don't get distracted by the noise. You don't waste time on activities that don't serve your mission. Every moment becomes an opportunity to move toward your goal, and every decision is made with that purpose in mind. Another key element of precision is its ability to create momentum. When you act with purpose, every success builds on the last one. Precision allows you to create a snowball effect in your life. Small, deliberate actions add up over time to create big results. Every win, no matter how small, propels you forward, and as you continue to make precise moves toward your goal, your confidence grows, your skills improve, and your progress accelerates. Momentum is the result of continuous, focused effort. When you stay on track with precision, you begin to see compound results that wouldn't be possible through random, unplanned actions. Luck may get you through the door, but precision is what keeps you in the room. It's the difference between temporary success and sustained achievement. People who are lucky might catch a break once, but those who operate with precision understand that real success is built on a foundation of skill, strategy, and calculated effort. It's about playing the long game. It's about knowing that success doesn't come overnight. It comes from consistent, focused action over time. Precision keeps you grounded in the pursuit of your goals, and it ensures that your success is not fleeting but lasting. In the end, success is not about luck. It's about precision. The precision to know exactly what you want, to plan for it, to execute with focus, and to continue refining your strategy as you move forward. When you operate with precision, you no longer rely on external forces to shape your success. Instead, you take control of your destiny, aligning every action with your goal and ensuring that every move you make is a step closer to achieving it. Precision is the key to turning your vision into reality. It's the path that transforms ambition into accomplishment. So forget about luck. Build your success on precision and watch how it leads you to the life you've in. Conclusion, the journey to success is not built on random chance or fleeting moments of luck. It's a deliberate process of clarity, focus, and precision. When you commit to understanding your purpose, setting a clear target, and aligning every action with your goal, you eliminate the uncertainty and replace it with a powerful, unwavering belief that success is within your control. Precision allows you to navigate obstacles, harness your skills, and maximize your potential. It turns dreams into plans and plans into results. So don't wait for luck to find you. Create your own path, one precise step at a time, and make your success inevitable.